各位记者朋友，大家下午好。
Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. Now the floor is yours.
现发言人总台央视记者提问：今天上午，习近平
CCTV, President Xi Jinping this morning attended and addressed the conference marking the 70th anniversary of the peaceful coexistence five principles, which is widely followed by international community. Can you give us more details on the conference? This morning, the conference marking the 70th anniversary of the five principles of peaceful coexistence was held at the Greater Hall of the People in Beijing. President Xi attended and addressed the conference. Premier Li Qiang moderated the conference. Foreign guests include many former state leaders, 9 representatives from international and regional organizations, diplomatic envoys, experts and scholars, friendly personages, and representatives of the media and business communities. Around 600 Chinese and foreign guests attended the conference. A launching was held after the conference, and 4 sub-forums are being held now. The important address delivered by President Xi is highly aspirational, enriched, and profound. It bridges the past, present, and future, and in this turbulent world, sends out the strong message of seeking common ground while solving differences, striving for a shared future that depends on Earth, and treating each other with mutual respect for mutual success. The speech will surely have a significant and long-standing influence on countries working together for a better future. Here, I would like to summarize the main message of the important speech with some numbers. First, the speech summarizes the 4 historic contributions of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. They have transcended time and space and overcome estrangement, showing robust resilience and everlasting relevance. They have set a historic benchmark for international relations and international rule of law, and have served as a prime guidance for the establishment and development of relations between countries with different social systems. They have been a powerful rallying force behind the efforts of developing countries to pursue cooperation and self-assurance through unity, and have contributed historic wisdom to the reform and improvement of the international order. Second, the speech provides in-depth explanation on the 3 new highlights in upgrading of the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence to the vision of building a community with a shared future for mankind. The vision is the most effective move to sustain, promote, and upgrade the 5 principles in the new circumstances. The vision captures the reality that all countries have a shared future and intertwined interests, and sets a new model of equality and coexistence for international relations. The vision responds to the world's prevailing trend of peace, development, cooperation, and win-win, and opens up new prospects for peace and progress. The vision keeps pace with the historic trend toward multipolarity and economic globalization, and inspires new ways to achieve development and security. Third, the speech makes 6 proposals of jointly building a better future of human society. At this historic moment where mankind have to choose between peace and war, prosperity and recession, unity and confrontation, countries need to uphold the principle of sovereign equality, cement the foundation of mutual respect, turn the vision for peace and security into reality, unite all forces to achieve prosperity, commit to fairness and justice, and embrace an open and inclusive mindset so as to strive tirelessly for the lofty goal of building a community with a shared future for mankind. Fourth, President Xi advocated that the Global South can jointly become the strong force for 4 endeavors. China and the Global South share the same interest and aspiration. We have lent each other support. With the overall development of the world in mind, President Xi Jinping advocated that the Global South should be open and more inclusive, together be the staunch force for peace, the core driving force for open development, the construction team of global governance, and the advocates for exchange among civilizations, and join hands together to take the lead in building a community with a shared future for mankind. Fifth, President Xi officially announced 8 measures to support cooperation of the Global South, which cover areas of training, youth exchange, economic development, free trade, agricultural cooperation, digital economy, green development, and ecological conservation. China will work with all parties to provide stronger impetus for the common development, solidarity, and cooperation of the Global South. China firmly champions and faithfully practices the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. At the new historical starting point, China will maintain firmly committed to an independent foreign policy for peace, seek peaceful development, carry out friendly cooperation with all countries, follow the opening up strategy of win-win cooperation, and work with the rest of the world to build a community with a shared future for mankind, and jointly open up an even brighter future for mankind. Next one, please.
Thanks. Question from AFP.
法新社，美方称，常务副国务卿坎贝尔同中国外交部副部长马朝旭昨天进行了通话，双方讨论了美方对于菲律宾的军事支持是坚不可摧的。马朝旭在通话中说了什么
27日，外交部副部长马朝旭同美国常
On June 27th, Vice Foreign Minister Ma Zhaoxu had a phone conversation with U.S. Deputy Secretary Campbell. The two sides had a candid and in-depth exchange of views on the current bilateral relations and issues of mutual interest. Ma Zhaoxu elaborated on China's juxtaposition on issues related to Taiwan, Xizang, the South China Sea, and Ukraine, and asked the U.S. to act on President Biden's 5 No's commitment, respect China's sovereignty, security, and development interests, and play a positive role for the steady development of bilateral relations rather than doing the opposite. Ma Zhaoxu stressed that the Taiwan question is at the core of China's core interests and the first red line that can't be crossed. Taiwan independence is a dead end, and connivance and support for it will backfire. The U.S. should fully see through the separatist nature of the TVB authorities, abide by the 3 China-US joint communiques, stop arming Taiwan, and act on its commitment of not supporting Taiwan independence. Xizang-related issues concern China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The U.S. should stop emboldening the Tibet independence forces in any form and stop interfering in China's internal affairs. The root cause of the current tension around Renaijiao is that the Philippines has abandoned the consensus reached with China and challenged China's sovereignty and territorial integrity by sending a large amount of construction materials to the illegally grounded vessel in an attempt to achieve permanent occupation of Renaijiao. The U.S. side should stop emboldening the provocations of the Philippines side and take concrete actions to maintain peace and stability. China's position on the Ukraine issue is objective. The U.S. side should stop groundlessly smearing and scapegoating China, as well as obstructing the normal exchanges between China and Russia. And we hope that the United States should stop it and stop the abusive unilateral sanctions and long-arm jurisdiction. We will firmly safeguard legitimate rights and interests of Chinese entities.
Thank you. AFP again.
法新社，我理解外交部已经在本周回应了相关秦刚的问题，但是考虑到昨天前防长李尚福被开除党籍，秦刚也会有相关的消息流出吗？
没有可以提供的信息。
I have no information to share with you on this question. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。湖北广电记者提问：今天是中国和委内瑞拉建交50周年纪念。
Hubei TV. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment diplomatic ties between China and Venezuela. How would you comment on the growth of bilateral relations in the past 5 decades, and what's your expectation? This year marks the 50th anniversary of our bilateral ties. President Xi Jinping and President Nicolas Maduro exchanged a message of congratulations to commemorate this important day. Over the past 50 years, both two countries have run an extraordinary course. No matter how the international landscape has evolved, the two countries have always shared will and woe and given each other mutual understanding and support. The two sides jointly uphold international fairness and justice. Last September, President Nicolas Maduro paid a successful visit to China, and we agreed to elevate our relations to an all-weather strategic partnership, opening new chapters of our bilateral relations. Standing at the new starting point of historic importance, China stands ready to work with Venezuela to stay true to the original aspiration of our ties, build the traditional friendship, and continue to enrich our relations so as to better contribute to the world peace and development. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人，总台中文国际频道记者提问。据报道，6月28日，日本东京电力公司启动第7。
It's reported that TAPCO started to dump the 7th batch of Fukushima nuclear contaminated water into the ocean on June 28th. The discharge is expected to last until July 16 and reach nearly 7,800 tons. What's your comment? Japan has still not addressed international concerns about the discharge of the nuclear contaminated water, including its safety, the long-term reliability of the treatment facility, and the effectiveness of monitoring arrangements. Meanwhile, Japan continues to unilaterally dump the water into the ocean and transfer the risk. This is blatant disregard for the health of humanity. China firmly opposes it. The Japanese side should respond to the international concerns with all seriousness and properly handle the issue in a responsible and constructive way. We urge Japan to provide full cooperation in setting up an independent and effective long-term international monitoring arrangement so as to avoid irrevocable consequences stemming from it. Next one, please. Are there any more questions?
谢谢发言人。日本广播协会的记者提问。
NHK in Suzhou, where a Japanese mother and child were attacked. Hu Youping, a Chinese national who tried to stop the attacker, died of critical injuries. A witness said that if the attacker had not been stopped by her, there would be more casualties. And what's the foreign minister's comment on Ms. Hu's heroic act, and how do you respond to her death? Is there any new development in the investigation of the case?
We learned the sad news as well and noted the decision of the government of Suzhou. Actually, we mourn her unfortunate passing and offer her deepest sympathies to her family. The government of Suzhou posthumously conferred the title of Role Model of Righteousness and Courage upon Madame Hu Youping. She demonstrated Chinese kind-heartedness, bravery, and everyday heroism. As regard to the investigation of the case, I'd refer you to the latest. I'd like to tell you that please stay tuned.
还有其他问题吗？
Are there any more questions?
那好，今天的记者会到此。
Then let's call it a day. Thank you. Happy weekend.